What's up, guys? Today we're going to get our samurai on. Today we're going to talk about Yojimbo. Some say the armed bodyguard. There's many translations to this. But let's get into this. I'm very excited to talk about this. You guys know that I'm a martial artist as well as an anthropology and archaeology researcher. I'm also a big fan of psychology as well. Most of the time I talk about films, but this channel is essentially a channel where I do video essays on culture. So Yojimbo felt like a perfect video to talk about, especially in these complicated times where the film asks a very important question about morality and ethics. And right now we're being tested more than ever. Although this film is set in feudal period Japan, it makes us reflect and think about how things don't change. And unfortunately, we're being tested right now. And this film, Yojimbo, talks about that because it's very tricky. This video is going to be a little bit on the shorter side, guys. I'm just going to kind of the way we're going to break this down too is like one, I'm just going to give you my thoughts and plot summary. Two, we're going to talk about morality and ethics. And three, we're just going to give you a review because there's a lot to talk about. Maybe at some point I'll do more of a longer video. But I think this video is arguably pretty simple and the message is pretty clear because Akira Kurosawa's films always talk about morality and ethics. All of them do. And all the various characters that he puts in all the various films that he does, from High and Low, from Ikuru, from Seven Samurais, from Yojimbo, from Rashomon, you name it. All his films ask about morality, and all his characters, protagonists, side characters, antagonists, and I would argue most of his films don't have antagonists. They're kind of more gray, but either way, they're all given morality challenges. And some of them fail the morality challenges and some of them don't. And Yojimbo asks a lot of important questions. To give you a brief plot summary, Yojimbo was one of the earlier films that talks about the archetype of the samurai. It also does an archetype of the whole man with no name and the power of anonymity and how you can go into a town and do positive change or positive chaos. What is Yojimbo 2? You have to watch the film to find out because I'm not going to spoil anything here. But Yojimbo is a samurai who's a reluctant samurai and who's kind of an anti-hero. He doesn't want to be a hero. He just wants a quiet life. But sometimes, as the kids say nowadays, life be lifing. And he gets put in a very tough predicament. Does he help the people of this town? Does he leave? Does he do his own thing? Does he look the other way? It's the important question. What do you do when life challenges you? What do you do when you're surrounded by racism, bigotry, cancel culture, negativity? How do you fight back? What do you do? Do you stand tall? Do you do your best? Do you dust yourself off? Do you become informed? Do you become a part of the change? Do you run away? Or do you choose to say that you're not going to take it? Or are you going to say, I'm better than that? I can say, hey, I'm going to do my part, because, yeah, this isn't how the way life is meant to be, right? And Yojimbo is a film, as I stated, about morality and ethics. And there's a complex thing that famous film researcher Dr. Howard Sewer says, there are no good characters, just good relationships. And a lot of these films is centered around respect and betrayal, honor and deception. And there's also a solar system dynamic that's also relevant with this cast. And in many ways, it's an ensemble cast. Yes, there's only one star of the film, but all the characters are centered around this man with no name. And it's interesting because arguably, in many ways, this man with no name is a scapegoat. And the scapegoat has very interesting Hebrew, Aramaic, Old Testament roots. And And what it talks about, and this takes us into our next point, which is just the full-on breakdown of moral and ethics. And I'm going to start this second part with just the idea of the scapegoat, because as previously stated, the scapegoat has like the Jewish Aramaic roots in Old Testament, and it's very interesting. It's just this old idea, this old tribal belief system that you would cast out a goat. And in doing and casting out this goat, it's a symbolism that all the sins and all the bad things of this town is, or this village, is going to be absorbed by the goat like a sponge. And you shove them out, and now this town can start anew. And it's a sad journey for the goat, but in many ways, the goat's a hero. But heroes and villains are two sides of the same coin. They're like yin and yang. Darkness and light have this interconnected relationship, and it's all perspective. To some people, the scapegoat could be the villain and the cause of all their problems. For other person, the scapegoat is actually a hero because now they don't have to deal with their problems because they have a scapegoat. Literal metaphor and the actual goat are actually in real life. And that's why Yojimbo is so compelling, and some would argue it's one of the best samurai films ever made. Last section. We're just going to get into the review. Boom. Easily, this film is probably like an 8.6, 8.5. I'm going to give it an 8.6. Yeah, it's great. It's great. It takes a little bit to get going, but it's kind of the point. Not all Akira Kurosawa films have slow pacing, but this one has a little bit of a slow pacing, but I think it's done on purpose. In some ways, I think it's supposed to lull you to sleep. In many ways, the film replicates an actual real fight, right? I'm boring, and boom, I just struck the camera. And that's samurai culture. You're talking, you're distracting, you're taunting your enemy, because the next thing you know, you are defeated. You are killed. It's the nature of life. It just takes one movement and one moment, right? And this film also has people with guns, so it's similar dynamic. Like, it takes one bad moment, one bad movement, and you're dead. It's the importance of just that single moment. And then the other thing too is that I think the pacing of it is supposed to be slow in the beginning, because it's supposed to show, yeah, this is kind of a mellow town. It's kind of rural, or there's not much going on. But then when you notice, like, oh, there's an underbelly, there's something else going on underneath. And that's when the story gets good. And then you see, did the main character make the right choice? Did the samurai do the right choice? Did he not? You guys let me know. I was super pumped to do this video. Thank you guys for taking so much love and attention and care for this channel. Thank you for making this channel grow. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and please send this video to more people you know. Send it to your mother, your brother, your sister, your enemy, your neighbor, somebody you met across the street. Maybe you're on a date with somebody. Send them this video. Make this grow. Let's make this curious community for curious people grow and be part of a positive change for the future. This has been your breakdown from A to Z. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Take it easy.